Okay, for day 5 here, we know we've been dealing with this issue with global state management, and I was trying it in a player instance. So now I'm doing it in a game instance. I found out that you have to, if you do that, make sure you go into your project settings and set your game instance to your new blueprint of game instance. So I have all kinds of stuff open to cover, but basically I made this game instance object here, or blueprint, and then I threw has spawned in here as a boolean, right? So we have that, and that will carry it over. So if we go back to our little test ground here, I made this third-party box, this global box test here to just test the logic. I added the blueprints here. I have a static mesh for the box. I have a collision enabled for the box that's bigger than the box. I have on component begin overlap. I am now grabbing the game instance, which now that I've updated in project settings is the proper one. I'm casting to that game instance. I'm checking that has spawned boolean, and I'm flipping it. So I'm saying flip it, make it whatever the opposite of it is. And this is just for testing purposes. I have a 2-second delay built in. Then it branches based on true or false. It will set the material color to either blue or red, and then it flips, it sets has spawned to the opposite based off of that, based off whatever it comes in and branches. So I don't actually need to flip it here. That was an earlier attempt, but no big deal because I've got this working now, I think, and that was a major headache. So this is story of development, right? So we jump on the box, we wait 2 seconds, it turns red, and you can see the path here in the blueprint below. It hits that delay, waits 2 seconds, turns blue, waits 2 seconds, red, 2 seconds, blue. So that logic is all I needed to fix these gates. And I haven't instituted in these gates because I just finished that, decided to call it a day. But tomorrow I will be updating the gates so that everything works, which means that I will always spawn at the right spawn point, and then when warping to different zones, my body should follow me, which is pretty important so that you can play a game. So now we'll just go into kind of some other stuff that I did. I copied the player, the third person player model here, but I took out my left click blast. I'm going to be adding some stuff in here, so this is kind of a test, and then we'll see if it overrides. I built an interface, so according to what I've been reading about, interfaces are a good way to access variables in a memory efficient manner. So instead of just dragging an entire blueprint around with the character all the time, say game instance, you can have an interface which I would guess works something like a hash map, so you can access specific variables very quickly. So I added some variables to there, or some functions at least, that can get those or return those. So we have get current health here, which just outputs health as a float. We have get max health, same thing, max health as a float. We have heal, which shows the amount of the heal as a float, outputs the new health, so after the heal, hopefully. And then we have take damage, which has damage info, which we'll get into, which is a struct of damage info. And then it outputs was damaged as a boolean in case they're immune for whatever reason. So I built a struct here for damage info. You can read the types and the data types associated with them, I should say the names. And so we have damage type enum and an enum for damage abilities. So I added these, none, magic, fire, water, cold, poison, disease, chromatic, prismatic, physical, and corruption. Damage abilities, I put none at the bottom because I forgot to at first. But you always kind of want to have a none as a fallback. So then we have stun, root, snare, fear, silence, blind, mesmerize, charm, poison, disease, mana drain, hit point drain, which will be like a life tap actually, debuff, knockback, banish, dispel, summon, and enrage. Everyone's favorite from EverQuest. So then, like I said, here's the global box that I built, and that's about what I got done today. So tomorrow I'm hoping to get the gates completely working, and then hopefully more map development, and I want to start building some combat systems in. So that's what all of this stuff is for. So thank you.